Alright, so it looks like we're live. So hello. Tonight, I wanted to do some Melty Blood and some Oniland farming. So let me just quickly switch over here. You can see I have Oniland going on, and the drops have been good. I had to use some QP. I had to level up some skills in order to get this down to below 999 million, but it's below there, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna hit 999 million again today. So I'm gonna be doing that, but the main thing I'm gonna be doing today is actually playing the Melty Blood again, which is why the game is actually labeled that. So I think I can hide that for now. And I wanted to see if I could get to Seiba's story. It seems that you have to play Red Arcueid, Hisui, and Kohaku. So I've already played Red Arcueid and Hisui, and we can choose Kohaku, I think, yeah. And let's try going in with hard. And one reason I decided to use play Melty Blood along with the raid is that with Melty Blood, at least, every time you finish a fight, you get a bit of a gap to pause and do the next thing. So that's when I can start running the macro again. Basically, I'm running the raid using a macro. A one turn. Pretty simple. It's the exact same one that I used in the NA account. Oh, medicine really quickly. Yeah, I'm noticing just how much, like, the hair strands in Kohaku's and Hisui's, like, designs are in the remake here, or remake look. That's a little too much, actually. I feel like it's just a little too noticeable. I don't think she's a doctor, though. Yeah, this mansion just seems way too big for these, just these two maids. Right? Even areas that aren't being used, it's gonna get dusty. I guess they probably have to cover up a lot of the mansion with cloth or something, so that dust doesn't get on things. Huh. No mercy. Okay, so I guess that's setting up whatever this what is it? Security? I guess that's what she's doing? Oh wait, what? She's fighting Akiat at the very beginning? I don't know if the game just randomly chose that or if there's some meaning to this, because I was expecting her to fend off enemies from outside the house rather than the owner of the house, right? She's the boss, right? Ooh, shit. Okay. She's pretty good at countering. So I feel like I got a slightly better like idea of how to handle the hard difficulty enemies last time. Because yeah, I'd never played hard until last time I streamed this game, which was a few days ago now. And I found hard at first quite difficult, certainly. Yeah. Nice. But I guess it allowed me to shore up some holes in my game. I've discovered that there were certain simple things that I wasn't quite doing right. More surveillance cameras. Okay, so I do appreciate how this game provides unique voice lines for specific characters, specific character matchups. Wow, Shiki this time. We're starting right off the bat with some major big hitters. Oh shit, that didn't hit him at all. Okay. Oh shit. Yeah, just I was rushing in like that a lot, and I still have that tendency, as you can see, but that resulted in me losing hard difficulty pretty often, pretty easily. Oh, okay. I'm actually not at all sure about how to use her various special attacks. I think almost everyone has very similar sets of special attacks in terms of button inputs, but of course the animations and overall effects are unique per character. I'm sure, yeah, or certainly all different. Okay, come on. Ooh, shit. There we go. That was a pretty neat little sequence there at the end. I accidentally tried to counter his counter, which I don't think really works in that specific context. But I managed to quickly re-center myself and use a regular attack. It tends to be easy for me to panic a bit when I'm playing fighting games, in part because I'm very unused to them. But yeah, I guess mainly that. But I guess I also have a somewhat of a tendency to panic in certain situations in games. But that's probably pretty normal. Get rid of that. So I wouldn't have thought that Noelle, of all people, would be the first actual story character for Kwaku. Yeah, what is this scene? Yeah, so at this point, Kwaku knows nothing about vampires, right? So she definitely knows about supernatural stuff, but the fact that Roa came here and that Arkwright came and such, and the church, that's all still... She's just a regular person in terms of knowledge about that, right? Okay, what? I don't... Yeah, why is she getting so aggressive all of a sudden? I don't quite get it. Yeah. Monster surprise? Okay. All bark and no bite? I mean, she's supposed to be legit a good fighter, right, Noelle? Especially compared to a maid. Yeah, but why doesn't Kwaku run away? Imagine if the game turned into an infinite runner or something here. That'd be quite the twist. Holy shit, break a leg, yeah? This isn't a play, lady. I don't want to break a leg. Okay. Oh shit. Yeah, I walked right into that. Still don't have a great sense of what the major, like, specific, distinctive combat mechanics in this game are. Because most fighting games, especially most 2D fighting games, I'd say, have a lot of similarities with each other, right? That's why they're one genre. But I'm pretty sure basically every fighting game has something about it that makes it stand out. There are very generic seeming ones too, but... In any case, I know Melty Blood has its own kind of mini systems that... Oh shit. Okay, I think I need to do this to heal up. Oh no, she countered! Oh, that might kill me! Ah, okay. So fittingly enough, killed in my first actual story quest today. Oof, I didn't do that well either. I barely took off half her HP, although I think some of them might have been from getting healed. She doesn't even have much of a line for me. Time for Quagga to shine? Yeah, I wish. So, we'll see if I can beat her. This is my third battle here. But, anyway, yeah, thank you for coming by. Good evening. Hope you've been having fun with a different K character, you might say. As you can see, I'm doing a bit of both Melty Blood and FGO right now, but Twitch doesn't give me the option of putting in 2 different games, I think, at once. Ah, shit. That said, the FGO portion's very simple and uninteresting because it is all just the Oniland raid. But that shit's going fast. It unlocked about 24 hours yesterday, and it's already over halfway done, I think. And I feel like that's faster than what it was in NA. But I do know in both NA and KR, the companies automatically make the number go up regardless of people playing the game. It's not 100%, there is a player input, but there's absolutely 100% a portion where the server just increases the number by a certain amount at a certain rate, and it changes throughout the course of the raid. So yeah, in KR usually it's been slower than in NA, and oh shit, I lost because of time. Aw. Oh, you got 2 million on the raid. Nice, congrats. You got the lore. Sweet. Well, as you can see, I haven't been having too much trouble myself in the raid or in the Oniland because I spent so much on the raids, and I'm pretty willing to spend gold apples. I guess maybe I won't go in too deep. I'll just spend enough to get 999 million QP maybe? I'm not sure. Because I want to get more gunpowder, but I don't really need much of the other material. Can always use more of the Aurora Steel, I guess. But yeah, it's the gunpowder that I really need. I still need a shit ton. Well, not a shit ton, but I need a bunch. And part because of... what's her name? The Indian Jeanne d'Arc. God damn it. Yeah. Anyway, I only have her in my Korean account, so I feel like generally if I'm gonna spend a lot of like time and effort farming for a character to level up their skills, I want to make it a character that I don't have in the other account. I like to try to keep things spread out. Ah, Lakshmi Bai, yes, thank you. Indeed, that was her name. I just know she has the best armpits out of any Saber face. Okay, that was a really bad fight. That one, that was just... she didn't heal at all, and she had only a little less than half her HP left, so she did fine there. I did not, so... Let's see. I think maybe I was just a little distracted. I should probably get... try to focus a little bit better, because in part I'm just not good at this game, so I need to really step it up with my focus to even do well at all. And this is clearly not easy. You'll take with the SR ticket? Oh yeah? I did hear that, I think JP hasn't gotten another SR ticket since the last one that NA's gotten. Either that or maybe there's only one more? I don't know. But yeah, I think she's definitely super cute. I like her a lot. I haven't used her much though. God damn. Okay. I'm just really having a hard time finding openings here. Yeah. Because she's very aggressive and she's hitting me pretty well, right? And to try to get a counterattack in, I need to find an opening, but whenever I try to attack, she counters me. Yeah, we'll get an SSR ticket next year, right? That'll be a good opportunity for many people to get waiver, certainly, but also many other servants. I might end up getting Tamamo on my NA account, I'm not sure. Because I already have Tamamo on my Korean account. So I'm not in dying need or desire of getting her in an NA account. But that said, she's just such a fantastic arts support. I mean, yeah, that's kind of an understatement. She is one of the premier arts support servants. Even once Kestoria comes by, that just means Tamamo becomes number 2, right? And I happen to have a couple of level 100 arts servants in my NA account who would enjoy playing with her. And I'm a big fan of Chiwa Saito too, so ooh, nice. Of course, Chiwa Saito being the voice of my waifu in Genshin. But she's voiced many great characters that I really love. God damn. Alright, let's focus a bit and use that. Shit. Oh shit! God damn, she countered pretty well. Nice! Oh, finally. Okay. Mordred or Anastasia? Oh, those are good choices. I've been lucky enough to get Anastasia 3 times. Twice in my Korean account and once in my NA account. And she's pretty nice, you know. Artscaster, AoE, with a 50% NP charge. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And she's super cute. But, yeah, I can't blame anyone for getting waiver. Waiver just saves you so much time in the game. Just, he is absolutely worth whatever if you spend any amount of time farming in the game. And, of course, he's also a fantastic challenge quest servant, right? He's not just the best farming servant, or one of the best now. In terms of challenge quest content, he's also one of the best options you can take into almost any challenge quest as a support. He's dropped off, of course, like any early servant, but he still gives you so much, and he's never gotten a buff other than that very first one when in JP. I believe, I don't remember the exact details, I believe initially, I do know for a fact that the attack up and the defense up skills were not as powerful as they are now, but I believe they did not have an NP charge component. I believe initially neither of them charged the team by 10%. All they did was provide the defense or the offense, the attack buff, which is just... Can you imagine waiver like that? That would still probably work decently as a servant, but certainly not the farming god that we know he is now, right? Yeah, if you don't get Kestoria, that's true. Yeah, waiver is always a good backstop. He's not always the best farming support servant for you to have, but he will always, if you have him, he will always be good and reliable and almost always allow you to set up a proper 3-turn team, even if it's less, even if it's more button presses, let's say, than like an arts looping or a quick looping team. Alright, let's take on Arcade. Nice. Okay. Ah, man, it's so hard. I'm not sure how to even get out of a combo like this. Jesus, look at that. She took off over 1/3 of my HP on that. Yikes. Yeah, you get caught in one, and yeah, and I can't just let her sit back, especially with the amount of time we got left, so I have to be aggressive. But that often means jumping right into one of her attacks. Ah. Oh shit, she countered me. That might be it. Oh. Ooh, nice. She ended it with a nice little combo. I remember that combo from the original Melty Blood games. I don't remember which one. It was probably in the very first one. But I remember Arcade had that really neat attack that you see in a lot of fighting games or anime, where you hit somebody so hard you send them flying into the air, and then you jump up faster than them so that you hit them as they're coming up. And in the case of Arcade, she does it into a multi-hit combo. And yeah, I don't think anyone would survive that actually, right, in real life? Oh shit. Oh. I don't know if the AI really gets better as the fights progress in a given playthrough or in a given difficulty. Like if the 6th match in story mode is harder than the first one. But sometimes it feels that way. And I imagine some of it might also be the specific enemies that I have trouble with, or the characters I'm playing with tend to have trouble with. Okay, come on. Oh no! Shit, what's she gonna do? Oh shit! Oof! Almost ate that combo. Oh! Oh! Nice, finally! That was a pretty nice, finish. Good ending with the hitting Arcade in the stomach with the broom, like swinging a baseball bat. Yeah, so I've mentioned before, I'm not that into fighting games, but I will say the more I'm playing this, especially on hard difficulty, which normally I really wouldn't play in a fighting game, the more I am starting to enjoy. But there is a simplicity to the combat that's both fun and a little frustrating. It is very much execution heavy though, this game. How well you do is clearly based on your skill here, and specifically timing and execution of moves, rather than, say, like, better strategy I'm sure is a factor, but here it feels like how well can you react to your enemy movements, how well can you fool them and bait them into doing different moves so you can punish them. All that. I feel like that matters more than a lot of, like, strategy. Which I guess, I mean, that's a form of strategy, but it's more tactic than strategy, perhaps. So in that way, it feels like a real fight, I guess. Alright, well, there's Seiba. I don't recall how much of Seiba we've seen in the story mode until now, but there she is. She is the penultimate fight in Boku's story quest. Yeah, that is really nice art. I'll agree with that. Also, it would be nice if Saber got the, like, casual outfit costume for fighting. I think it's a shame. I feel like a number of the characters have different outfits that they transform from at the beginning of a fight. Shit. So that's funny. We face Arcade and then we face Seiba, the two blonde heroines of their respective works. Oh shit. God damn. Look at these combos. Yeah, both Arcade and Seiba are just destroying me with these combos. They catch me in one hit, and I end up just losing about a third of my HP bar. Okay, I think that's gonna kill me. Okay. Ooh, that actually caught her. No, no. Well, at least I healed up a bit, so that didn't kill me, but look at that combo, right? Jeez. Oh no. Oh shit, she got me. Whew. That was a pretty good fight, I'll say. That was pretty fun. But yeah, just came just a little short. A little short. Okay, that's the same line you said. Is... Alright, let's go again. That was a little better than the first time, I'll say. So maybe one thing is, since I haven't fought Seiba much at all, I don't really have a great sense of her animations, and so I wasn't able to anticipate her moves as well. But that said, look at that, just one combo, right? That I'm not as good at pulling off combos, so unfortunately, even when I do well, I don't end up doing as much damage. Ooh, shit. Okay, so I have to watch out when she jumps up, basically, because she can do a slam down attack, which is in Devil May Cry. That attack is called a Killer Bee, so I'll call it that. Oh, nice. Shit. Oh shit! Yeah, that move. God damn, that's all right. That was a pretty sweet finish. But god damn. All right. Yeah, that was not as good as the previous run. Okay, it's the exact same line. But I wasn't quite as helpless in the very first run. I feel like I had moments when I was in control. Oh, look at that combo. Okay, what was that move? Okay, I got a throw. What is that? I don't quite know what that zoom in was about, but whatever, I'll take it. Ooh, that's a pretty sweet move. Her witch move. Flying the air and... or flying on her broom and... dropping fire bombs at the enemy. Shit. Oh no. Now watch, I'm gonna fuck it up and she's gonna make an epic comeback, right? Look at this combo! No! Jesus! Look at that combo! Okay, she's very dangerous in the air. I have to really watch out for that. I can't afford to just, like, try to meet her in the air, because if we meet in the air, I'll lose most of those battles. Nice. Oof. So yeah, I think in this fight, I managed to find success by putting up a lot of pressure. Basically, early on in the fight, I kept pushing hard, refusing to let her really counter. And then in the middle I struggled, and then at the end I did that again, really bullied her into a corner, and that's how I managed to win it. Alright, so this is the story boss and its vlog. For whatever reason my F-code doesn't seem to want to load. Wait, has everyone left in this? Yeah, not as good as Kaka. It turns out this maid is more powerful than a servant. And not just any servant, it's supposed to be the most powerful servant, right? I think Seiba, as in the class, is traditionally the most powerful. Or at least the one who won. I guess Berserker is technically the most powerful in terms of raw power. But Seiba is supposed to be very good in its own way, and that's why they've always won. Huh. At the edge of the world? A forgotten ship? How does one forget a ship? Like a wreck, I guess? One of his wives. How many do you have? Does he have 666 wives, like how Nero had 666 like animals in him? That sounds like, to be honest, kind of hellish. I think it'd be better to have one wife and 665 concubines. But even then, 665 would be a lot. Is it Gilgamesh? The voice? Could be. Who voices Gilgamesh, actually? I don't know. Let's see. Can we do my animalist Gilgamesh? Or actually, if I do that, it's gonna... Oh no, the top result is Gilgamesh from Fate Stay Night. Tomokazu Seki. Oh, right, that's him. I don't know if that's Vlog, actually. It's been a while since I've watched any... Or actually, I guess I listened to Gilgamesh in Fate Go, but I don't really know his voice that well. Oh, you mean the most powerful servant? So, I guess that's... Yeah, maybe. You could say that, yeah, because Gilgamesh was more powerful than Hercules, right? I was thinking of the class specifically, because the whole idea of Berserker, for instance, is to just go crazy, right? Just unleash all your power. And the in the Holy Grail Wars that Fate Stay Night references, Seiba has won every single one leading up to the 5th one that Shiro and Rin take part in, right? So for that reason, I was saying Seiba is very powerful. But in terms of the individual servant, yeah, I think Gilgamesh is probably the most powerful. Because he's the OG, which I'm not sure what I think about that. It seems like kind of like a silly loophole to give him a lot of power. That he existed back when there weren't that many myths, because he was basically the OG myth. Or at least the OG written down myth, I believe. I believe the Epic of Gilgamesh is the first written work that we know of, the earliest one. And so for that reason, because he was king during that time, he gets the, what is it, like imperial privilege, you might say, of owning everything. And so obviously he's the most powerful. I don't know, I feel like they could have gone it the other way, where you say back then human civilization was not that meaningful. I mean, it was, but it wasn't as big, it wasn't as powerful, it wasn't as grand. So a king of that era should be less powerful than even like a non-king of a later era. But I know in Fate lore it kind of works the other way. Like there's this whole idea of the age of the gods or something, which has long passed. Nice, wow, that was a pretty solid fight. Just like, yeah, wow, nice. So I'm not sure what I did right there, but it went my way for most of it, so I'll take it. Impeccable manners. Okay. Alright, let's look at the... Oh, we don't even see her face in her ending image? Please, I'm really hoping that we see Kwaku turn her head here. I'll take that, at least. But look at, like, the art. There's nothing about her like outfit here that really, or the way we see her body that really says it's Kwaku, right? It feels like the artist didn't really, or whoever directed the artist perhaps to draw this, Didn't really care to make it like the proper ending for the story of this character. Yeah, see her smile, exactly. In a field of sunflowers, I think. That's her ending image, right? For her one and only end. Or at least one and only non-bad end. Because I believe she just has a true end. That's it. All is right with the world. God's in his heaven. Alright, so she's still very cheerful, and yeah, she didn't turn her head. Thanks. So I'm actually kind of curious who did voice Vlov. Fuck was Yuki Kuwahara, who I don't know. Kenjiro Tsuda voiced Vlov. Yeah. I don't recognize most of those names. Oh, 666 Kokumi, nice. Congrats. Right, you had to wait till today to be able to farm more of the books, I guess? So, alright, so Seiba's unlocked, but before we get to her, maybe we should do a different... Wow, so this is unlocked once you've beaten the game with every single person, huh? So we've played as Noelle, we've played as Miyako, Hisukoku. Before we get to Seiba then, how about we try playing as our first male character? I'm not that huge a fan of Shiki's redesign actually, now that I think about it. It looks like they really did try too much to make him look kinda, not edgy, but he has an edge to him. He's less the plain harem protagonist design, but I don't think they went far enough, and it's to the extent that he just looks kind of awkward a bit and doesn't look cool enough to actually look cool. Should be able to level 80 Kokomi tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Farm more of the... I guess... Oh, she has the hydro hypostasis, right? I think that's... I'm guessing, yeah, that's the enemy, because that's the enemy that's in the... on the island where she lives. I still haven't fought that one. I went to that area once to solve a puzzle, I recall. But I didn't fight the boss. And I guess I won't have a reason to fight that boss for a while. I don't know of any other new Hydro servants coming. Oh wait, is Ayato supposed to be a Hydro Claymore? If so, I guess that would be him, but I don't think I'll get him. I hope not anyway. Okay, so CL... Should be interesting seeing the AI play as CL, because she'll be pretty active and mobile in a way that I have difficulty seeing. Okay. Ooh, nice. Okay. Nice. Ended with throw. Oof, I'm at 107 Aurora steals, which is pretty nice. Especially the pearls. Oh yeah. Yeah, you didn't pre-farm. Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. You have to wait for them to respawn, and that takes 3 days or something, right? Alright, we got Arcade this time. Wow. Getting right into Arcade on the second battle. Yeah, I'd say, so far... he seems pretty easy to use. Yeah, Shiki's is quick, so that's good because it allows me to recover quickly when I make mistakes, which I do plenty of when I play this game or any fighting game, or most games in general. But because he's so fast or quick, it allows me to get a lot of hits into, and he feels very reactive to the buttons I'm pressing. So it feels like I can get a better sense of, or I can more quickly get a sense of what move does, what button press does what. There we go. Yeah, Melty Blood does largely seem to be based around aerial combos. That's the sense I get. There's a lot of... Whenever you punish somebody with a combo, it almost often, or almost always, it often, which is a synonym of almost always, seems to lead into a aerial combo. You shoot the enemy into the air, and then you follow it up with more hits, like a Devil May Cry or something, or many 2D fighting games, and even 3D ones have that kind of system. But Melty Blood seems really, so far, just really, there's a lot of it. It's a very high focus. So Noelle's breaking into the mansion, right? Oh yeah, I think that was a thing in the original Tsukihime visual novel as well. They have pretty modern stuff, including a good security system, even though the house looks very old-fashioned. So she has trouble with actual technological security, and less so with magical ones, I guess. Oh, look at Shiki's face. What does look? I'm not sure. Oh, I guess he just looks a little nervous or something. I don't know. Okay, so how is he gonna entice her into his harem without actually trying to? And I wish they made Noelle look a little older, because she's supposed to be somebody who's clearly older, right? She says she can't get away with pretending to be a student, but I see her and I think she doesn't look any older than Ciel. In fact, if anything, she looks a little younger with that sideways ponytail. And Ciel is a character who is not... Well, she passes as a student in the game, but she also has a very much upperclassman / teacher feel to her, which is why she was Teach Me Ciel-sensei in Tsukihime whenever you got a bad ending. Ooh, extracurricular activities. I'm listening. Yeah, you don't want to take your knife out immediately at the very beginning. That's a little too quick. You can scare her away, you know? But she seems into it. It's a very polarizing option, right? Sometimes it can work. Most of the times it doesn't. Right. But when it works, it works. And it seems to be working here. Type of waifu we appreciate? Yeah, well, with any game like this, with so many waifus, they want to make sure to put in multiple types that appeal to many different people. So, pretty nice. Oh shit, come on. Alright, she's pretty difficult. Yeah, I think I had trouble with Noelle when I was playing as Kwaku, so maybe there's something about this enemy that that I'm having a hard time really reacting to. Her projectiles, most enemies' projectiles, really give me a lot of trouble. God damn. Yeah, most enemy projectiles give me a lot of trouble, so I need to really learn how to deal with that, I guess. I just keep walking into them because often I'm barely thinking when I'm playing. I'm kind of more reacting or just, to be honest, but a little bit of button mashing. This is a game where button mashing, yeah, can work just because of the nature of the combos. There's a lot of auto comboing in this game, so pressing the one button over and over again will often work pretty well for you. That's how I'm doing a lot of these aerial combos. Oops. But you still, I can tell that there's still, you know, so much skill involved here of just reading the enemy moves and forcing them to make a mistake so you can punish them, and then actually punishing them. And I kind of like that, actually. It feels like the actual input execution of punishing an enemy with the fancy combo isn't quite as difficult and execution heavy as in some other fighting games I've played. But at the same time, there's a lot of execution heavy requirements for actually just, yeah, again, finding the enemy openings and then just getting one hit in to punish them, and then it just leads into a long chain of punishment because of the auto combos. Yeah, it's a feeling that, yeah, it reminds me of when I watch an MMA match where the two fighters are usually kind of trying to play some mind games with each other. Nothing too fancy, but really just trying to read each other and bait each other into making, you know, one wrong mistake. And I guess one of the exciting things about mixed martial arts is that it really only takes one mistake, right? I've seen fights where it just goes from, you know, 0 to 60 in an instant, or negative 60 to positive 60 in an instant, where one fighter is just losing, and just getting dominated, and then they land one hit that just causes the other guy to topple and lose everything, because it was such an important big hit that from one big mistake that got punished. And I guess it's hard to really do that in a proper fighting game without making it feel a little cheap. Can you imagine if you lose, you know, 99% of your HP and then you land one big hit that just takes out everything from the enemy? There are fighting games like that, like Tekken 3, I recall, had Paul had a attack one hit KO, but it was also very hard, or it wasn't hard to pull off. It had a long charge time, so it could be interrupted. He always gives a preview of new characters one update before on Twitter. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, so they started doing that a few updates ago, didn't they? Because I recall there was a whole thing about leaks earlier on, and they were all really frustrated, and it seemed that they wanted to preempt it by basically pre-announcing the characters on Twitter, like Sayu. Yeah, Aika and Yoimiya. Yeah, I do remember that. We had just pictures of them and descriptions on Twitter early on, before they were released. What's with that cactus? Okay. Ah, shit. Alright. Come on. Can we bully her into submission here? Shit. Gotta throw. Nice, there we go. Yeah, we did bully her into submission. Just pounded her against the wall over and over again until she could take no more. Yeah, so we've heard rumors about, what, Ito, right? Who I really still, you know, I haven't looked it up, and he hasn't appeared in the game at all, so I have no idea what we'd expect. And I think I heard people talking about an Albedo rerun as well, but I don't know, that might just be wishful thinking, or it could also just be too early at this point to really know at all. even MiHoYo might not quite know. I don't know when they lock in their plans. I imagine they have at least a good idea of which characters they're gonna release at this point, but maybe they still change things later on. So I've been having a lot of trouble with her, but at least I've been blocking her moves pretty well. It's just I've been getting chip damage and also been unable to damage her really. Oh shit! Yeah, that one I didn't block. Ah, the projectile attacks, man. Ah. Ooh, that's a pretty neat attack. Yeah, unfortunately, because she had so much HP already, it's still only just enough to get me to catch up. Okay, so bullying the enemies against the wall tends to work. I feel like it's probably not a foolproof plan, but it's something that I seem to be able to get some pretty good use out of. Okay, so we're at the final. Oh, okay, nice. Who's the ending? Oh, Vlav. I guess, yeah. Vlav's the final boss for most of them, I think. Semi-final, France and Belgium. Oh, really? It's between France and Belgium. For murder. Huh. Wait, Belgium at halftime. Wait, so did France end up winning then, or what? Because you said it was 2-2. Then Belgium had a goal that was taken away through because of offsides. Did it go into overtime or something like that? But nice if France won. That's, you know, congrats. That's quite a comeback. I mean, it's not crazy, but it doesn't happen that often, right? If a team is down 2-0 at half, I think I'll bet if you look up the stats, it must be a pretty high, like a very high proportion of the time they lose. I'll bet at least 70, if not 90. I don't know. I feel like scoring 3 goals or even 2 just to tie it is not easy. In the last minute? Wow. Well, yeah, that must have been exciting. France must be... I don't know about going crazy, but they must be really celebrating right now if it was like a national victory in the championship. Or semi-final, I guess. Semi-final, sorry. But still, getting to the championship is really exciting, right? Also, we got some pretty good luck here. Got a CE drop and a egg drop, although nothing else. Ooh, shit. Oh, right, he has these projectile attacks. Belgium will have for a few years. Yeah, I guess that'll be pretty, it would leave fans salty, I guess. The loser of that game doesn't feel good. But in Europe, that kind of thing's nothing new, right? Y'all are always, well, with football in particular, playing against each other, and different teams win championships, and people take it very seriously. Just like people take sports very seriously here too. But I think Europeans tend to take football more seriously than Americans take American sports. Like, they're major fans, don't get me wrong. They're hardcore fans, just as hardcore as any European fan, but I think overall, football is just a bigger sport in Europe than any sport is in America, I feel like. And in America, American football is definitely the biggest sport. That and then baseball. And yeah, American football I find fun enough to watch just in its own merits as an athletic activity. Watching professionals do this really well is fun for me, but I haven't ever really been able to get invested into a team and really care about it other than just rooting for the home team. Yeah, I'm sure it also depends a lot on the specific city in this country. That's a good point. I actually don't know much about Belgium in terms of football, because I know France has a pretty... In recent history, they've had a lot of success in terms of, like, shit, that was dumb. I guess it's not that recent by now, but it's within the last 25 years. I'm thinking of the first time I watched the World Cup was one in France. And oh yeah, I remember my grandfather watched it, and after the first time France scored a goal, he saw the faces of the players from Brazil, and he just said, I don't think they're gonna win it. I don't think they can come back. I'm pretty sure they're gonna lose 3-0. And that ended up being the final score. And I kept asking him how he could know, and at the time I was a kid, so I couldn't, I just didn't, it blew my mind that he actually had predicted it, but of course, you know, it was just a random guess that it turned out to be right. Especially since that third goal was kind of a more of a victory lap than anything. I feel like it came close to the final minutes of the game, and I think the goalkeeper might have been out. I don't recall. Oh. Grandpa. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think he didn't really have that many pearls of wisdom per se, but he was a good man. Very much, yeah, I have very good memories of him when I was a kid, growing up with him, because he basically raised me in Seoul. Well, him and my grandmother, I guess. Always told me stories. Which, it occurs to me, you know, if and when I have kids or grandkids, I won't have to make up stories like my grandpa did. My grandpa, I think he was born in the 30s, 1930s or something. So obviously, not even TV was really a thing. So any stories, and like he wasn't much of a bookish person either, so he didn't read much. So he made up stories for me. And that was, you know, really sweet. And I'm thinking I could not make up stories, but then again, I'm not in my 60s like my grandfather was when he was telling me stories. So maybe by that point, I'll have a few more stories to tell, or maybe I'll get better at making up stories that can amuse a 4-year-old. Yeah, I guess to be fair, it probably doesn't take that much to amuse a 4 or 5-year-old. It's their standards aren't that high for getting amused. I guess they haven't experienced that many amazing stories to compare to. So yeah, it could partially be that at the time, yeah, I was just a lot stupider. Alright, let's get to Seiba's story, speaking of stories, and actually trying her out, because she did look pretty fun when she was playing against me, but playing as her, let's see. Belgium, incredible generation. Oh, the great players didn't win any titles. That's too bad. Oh, and France happened to be the team that... Okay, so there's kind of a rivalry going on that in that way, I guess. That's a little sad for Belgium, but I'm sure you don't mind. Yeah, that reminds me of like the Red Sox and the Yankees a bit, because in baseball there's a famous rivalry here between Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees, but most New Yorkers never really considered it much of a rivalry because the issue is that Boston won multiple championships in the beginning of the 20th century, and then they won none for 80-something years, 86 years. During that time, Yankees, which had won 0 until that point, won 26 in that time. 26 out of like 86 championships. So they won about over a quarter of all championships in that time. But in the meanwhile, they often, when the Red Sox got close to winning the championship again, the Yankees would be there to shut them down. And for that reason, the Red Sox always hate the Yankees, and they consider it a rivalry, whereas the Yankees kind of look down on the Red Sox and are like, yeah, you're just one of the many teams our team has destroyed along the way. But that's kind of flipped over the last 20 years. That's the interesting thing. Or that's the fun thing as a Red Sox fan. Over the last 20 years, the Red Sox have won 3 championships, I think. And the Yankees have won 1. Neither team has done incredibly well, but Red Sox have done pretty well, including one game, or one series, because in baseball it's generally a best out of 7 series. Whoever wins 4 games moves on. In 2004, when I was still in college, or yeah, I was just starting in college, the Yankees took the lead in the series 3-0. And they just absolutely pummeled the Red Sox in that 3rd game. They were up. They beat them like 19-8 or something. And that's a score that you don't really ever see in baseball. 19 runs in a single game. They just absolutely clobbered them. And then the Red Sox won the next 4 games to beat them, and then won the next 4 on top of that to win the championship. So that was a pretty sweet year in terms of baseball. Ooh, nice. Ended it. A lot of trolling. Yeah, I imagine if Twitter was around at the time, it would have been so much trolling. I was using the internet and everything. It's not like internet wasn't around, but I guess social media was nowhere near what it is now, right? Absolutely night and day. So I used to go onto baseball forums, but really I mainly used to go to Red Sox forums just to talk to other Red Sox fans, actually. Wasn't too much trolling, and when Yankees fans came by, I guess that's when the trolling would happen. Anyway, I'd say Seiba is pretty fun to use. Yeah, she's pretty quick. Not as fast as Shiki, but still quick. She's responsive. And her attacks feel appropriately strong. Like, there's a weight to her attacks that I feel that it feels natural to use her. And maybe that's the point. Seiba is sort of like a generalist, maybe. That's the way it feels. She's just a solid all-around fighter in terms of strength, speed, and everything. And responsiveness. I kind of wish... We can see her sword, right? I kind of wish we did not see her sword during her fighting, except very specific moves where it appears for a moment. I think that would be really neat. Yeah, because, like, the sword's supposed to be invisible, right? That's the whole point. That in the lore, you can't see her sword at all. But I get that for gameplay reasons you want to show it, kind of, but at the same time, I think it would be neat if you couldn't see it at all. Seems like Ito. Oh, huh. He looks... Well, I guess he must be Inazuma, and he looks very Japanesey and samurai-ish. And that's a pretty neat looking claymore, though. Yeah, that's Oh wait. Oh. Excuse me. I'm... Oh, this must be. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I was having trouble activating my view for my regular monitor. Yeah, so this is obviously pretty blurry, but you can get a pretty good sense. He reminds me a lot of the samurai that we fight. And yeah, like I said, that claymore looks really neat. Is it a jade claymore maybe? If it's... Yeah, we should see him on Twitter from Mihoyo. Well, yeah, we'll find out. We got a lot going on in the next week, right? We're gonna get the new update. We'll get Tartaglia. I'm sure there will be some new story quest involving... Well, they already announced stuff, right? Siegfried. Yeah, I see the resemblance. Kinda like Siegfried. Okay, Kwaku nailed that one. She's absolutely right. Her sword does fire energy beams. That's absolutely her thing. Mental attacks? I think those are still physical attacks, sort of. Oh man, Hisui and Kwaku together would make such a great servant in FGO. Like, they're literally servants, you know? That's yeah. That's actually their role. That's their job. Would they be assassins? FGO? No. I guess Magical Amber could be both a caster and a lancer, maybe, even. Ooh. Could be... Nah, Berserker doesn't really fit, I guess. Same with Archer, and... Yeah, Seiba, not really. Doesn't cast a rider? I guess Hisui could ride this chair, which is an eyesore, right? Ah, Magical Amber could be a rider, because she rides her broom. Yeah. Mischievous mates. It's funny to think about there being nobility in this modern Japanese town. Because I guess Akiya almost is kind of that. But she's not, right? She's just a rich girl. But at least to her relative Miyako, she almost seems like nobility. It's like she's nobility within her family. Extended family, I guess. Which I guess is still a thing in real life too, right? We don't call it nobility, but we certainly have within our extended family certain people who take on bigger and smaller roles, and more powerful and weaker roles as well. At least, I would guess most extended families are like that. But not everyone's lucky enough to have much of an extended family, so well, I guess there's that too. I'm not sure if I'd say I'm lucky enough to have one, but I have enough of an extended family and you know, not much contact with them, but you know, enough, I guess. Yeah, there's no other servants. I think maybe Shiki killed them all. Speaking of which, we haven't faced Shiki yet, have we? Ah, Noelle. Noelle's definitely a lancer, I feel. Although, given her story cutscenes, I feel like she could also be a berserker, maybe. Oh, Narrow Chaos would be a berserker, I think. He'd be a pretty badass berserker. Yeah, it would be cool to see what animations DW could come up with for Narrow Chaos along with his Noble Phantasm with using the advanced color animations that NA has gotten recently, and JP got over 2 years ago, I think. Yeah, Narrow Chaos could have some real nasty animations. I'd love to see that. That'd be pretty sick, actually. Narrow Chaos. Is it Roa who freezes blood, or yeah, I think Roa freezes blood, and he can create shards of it so that if you're standing on it, it'll it can spike up and cut you. That could be pretty neat to see, but then again, that feels a lot like Anastasia. Actually, it's kind of random, but I feel like maybe I should check out that cartoon, Anastasia, which is a 90s cartoon, not made by Disney, but which seems to have found a lot of success in terms of like a lot of fans of it. And I've definitely heard more than one person mistakenly say that it's a Disney movie, but it's not. But I remember it was being marketed quite a bit when I was a kid. Of course, being a boy, I was like, ew, that's for girls. I don't want to watch that. I didn't talk like that. I don't think I ever did. But, yeah, my voice was never, ever like that. But anyway, yeah, I just wasn't interested in it. But I learned that recently that, yeah, it has kind of a big fan base. And I'm kind of curious to check it out because I have been trying to check out more old movies. I mean, Anastasia's not that old, but by old I mean, I guess, within my lifetime. So that I missed growing up. You know, because movies come out obviously during your lifetime, and most people don't watch all of them or even anywhere near all of them, so you end up missing some. Obviously the movies before your lifetime you also watch, but those are less like, you know, it's not the case that they come out and then you just miss them. It's just that you don't bother looking them up. Actually, yeah, you're right. Seiba, this is hard difficulty, but so far I think I've won every fight with Seiba. I haven't even noticed that. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, I guess she's actually, yeah, very easy to use. It feels very natural, like I mentioned. Yeah, just I want her to attack in a certain way, and then she does it kind of very, very quickly. Very little lag. Or at least very little of what feels like lag, because I know this game generally doesn't have lag. Poking holes in the world. That's a good way to put it, to summon a servant. It's like you're poking a hole in the world here, and then connecting it to a hole in a different era, and you're sucking out that servant, that hero, from that era into this era. Or maybe that's not quite the same thing, because it's not like you're removing them from where they used to be. It's more like you're poking a hole into your world and reaching into the world of myths and stories and pulling out somebody into your world from it. That's what summoning a servant is, isn't it? Because the servants you summon aren't the actual people from the, you know, whatever happened. Often they're not even real people. They're just myths, like, or fictional characters like Henry Jekyll slash... What's Mr. Hyde's first name? God damn, I don't even remember. Speaking of which, I do recommend Henry, story of Mr. Jekyll, or Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I remember I read that in high school for class, for, yeah, 9th grade. I think I was 13 or 14 at the time, and I had to do a project on it, which was involved. I used Photoshop, I think, or actually I used an application called Paint Shop Pro, which is easy to pirate and, or yeah, get a shareware version for that class. I remember that was one of my first actual times that I tried playing around with image editing, which I'm not particularly good at, but I think I'm competent enough. I just have very little reason to ever do it. That's the thing. But I remember I used to just try it sometimes for fun. Holy shit, that was quite an attack. Oh, no. I need to heal. Oh shit, don't do that. Oh, nice! I'm not exactly sure what happened there at the end. But... how did Nasid... so far there's not a whole lot going on. She appears and she's confused why she's here. She runs into the maids and beats them up. And then she runs into Roa, and he doesn't really have much in terms of answers. And he wants to beat you up. And now we're here. And Seiba just saved this town, I guess. Even Roa. Yeah, turns out Roa can't kill servants. Oh! I did not fight Shiki at once in this story sequence, which means we still haven't answered the question. Can Shiki kill servants? Yeah. Stay in your lane, Seiba. This is Arquade's job. Is this the first time these two are interacting in an official Type Moon work? I can't... Maybe they did that in... No, they probably did that in Carnival Phantasm, right? I can't remember. Yeah, they probably have, yeah. Cousins. Isn't Morgan inside of that sword or something like that? Yeah, blondies. They are... I mean, they are very well designed. I'll give them both that. I like Seiba's hair a lot. I like Arquade's hair a lot too, but there's something about the elaborateness of Seiba's hair. And obviously it's designed to make it kind of look like a crown, on top of kind of making it easy to put a crown on top. It's very pretty. A little fun. What kind of fun? Oh. Wait, but what sucks is we already beat the final boss. We're not gonna fight Arquade here. Shiroi Kyuketsuki. She called him a white vampire, not just a vampire. Ooh, that's a nice... Okay, that's by far the best ending and like picture CG so far in this game. Like, there's no contest. Like, the second place is just way below. Because even in the other ones that had multiple characters, you couldn't see the face of the other character, right? And in Kwaku's, you couldn't even see her face. Yeah, that one is by far the best. Jeez. Again, it feels like you're having a birthday party and your parent brings out your their favorite child on your birthday. Because we can look at... Wait, didn't I unlock these? I thought I unlocked them last time. Did that not get saved? I guess... Yeah, maybe that must be it, so it didn't get saved. Yeah, I guess it must be the counterforce. That's probably the most likely explanation. Also, I don't know why they allow you to do this. This seems kind of pointless. Oh, I guess we can zoom in. Actually, yeah, there is a point. Scratch that. So we got design pixel art. Right, so that's just character art basically, or what is it? Yeah, design art. So it says writing save data. I don't understand why that well, all that stuff disappeared. But also I'm confused where I can't Why can't I see the ending visuals? Right? You can see the main visual. So that's the opening movie. It just says they're not unlocked and they don't let me. Oh, is this it? Wait, how do you unlock these? Yeah, oh, this is the ending illustration, but again, there's no way to unlock them. The UI in this game is not good. I wish it was a little more clear about explaining to me what I need to do to actually unlock these. Alright, so I don't have that many characters left to play. Basically, I just have 3 characters, all male. Koma, Vlov, and Roa. So, I'm actually curious about Vlov. He is completely new character to me, both story and gameplay. So it'll be interesting to see what his story is like in this. Oh, is this how Vlov gets unlocked or something? Moro's maritime shipping. Russia? Okay, so this is some sort of... He was in some sort of coffin? Alright, yeah, thank you for coming by, Ned. Good night, and sleep well. Talk to you next time. It appear... So yeah, I feel like there's some sort of vampire myth that... Actually, I listened to Bram Stoker's Dracula last summer, but because I was listening to the audiobook while biking quite a bit, I don't... some of it kind of passed me by. I should re-listen to it. I feel like maybe somewhere in Bram Stoker's Dracula they reference something about locking up a vampire in the sea. But I feel like I see that kind of trope very often in stories about characters who are immortal, and especially vampires. But maybe that's part of Vlov's origin story before he got to Tsukime. I do not know. Oh. So he needs to eat Arkoid's heart in order to... well, preserve himself somehow? Snake? Who's that snake? Is it Roa, maybe? Roa is, I think, referred to as a snake at various parts, but I don't remember. Okay. Wow. So of course I fought against the Vlov plenty of times, but fighting as him is something else, and it's quite noticeable how big he is. Like, I don't notice it that much when I'm fighting against him, but fighting as him, this guy is clearly way taller than Seiba, right? Seiba's not a very tall woman, but still, he towers over her. And his attacks are pretty good. I'll say I like using him so far. Responsive, fairly quick, simple enough to use. I should try using some of his special moves, see what they're like. And I don't recognize his voice actor. His voice does remind me a bit of... Maybe it's because of his hair and overall design, but it reminds me a bit of Accelerator from A Certain Magical Index. Edgy. His voice, I hear that. He'd do a good edgy character, so, and Accelerator in a certain magical index is definitely an edgy character, if nothing else. Okay. I really loved Accelerator's little side story in the original Index anime, which I guess is very, very old by now. And the original anime is not very good, neither is Railgun, but it's also not very bad. It's just kind of okay, which I feel like is sort of what I've come to expect from JC staff, or at least what I expected from JC staff around that time. So it matches pretty well. Holy shit. So he has some pretty powerful projectile attacks. But I will say in the Index anime, my favorite parts were with Accelerator and Last Order. Oh, Last Order is such a cutie. Right, his 8th wife? What's wrong with his 8th wife? But I just love the idea of Accelerator hacking into computer systems using his ability to basically manipulate the movement of electrons. And yeah, on an electron basis, he's hacking into CPUs and shit, which is just absolutely crazy to think about. It's like hacking, well, it is very much like hacking somebody's brain by figuring out which neurons to fire in a certain way. It's at a level of that is just too literal and not abstracted enough to make sense from a like a computer point of view, right? Can you imagine trying to figure out like what video game I'm playing by looking at how the electrons are moving within my CPU? It would take quite the genius to do that, and that's one thing I like about Accelerator. Let's figure out what this guy's story is here. So it seems like Roa is not the person he wants revenge on, because he's only in the middle here. I imagine Arcade would probably be the final boss, maybe Red Arcade. Oh wait, no, this is the snake? Oh, maybe it goes in a different order then. He wanted to get Arquade's heart, but he happened to run into the snake first, so why not take care of it? Because he still needs to save himself using Arquade's heart, I'm guessing. Okay. So I've noticed in hard difficulty, the AI is really good about using projectile attacks if you stay far away from it. So it pays off to be up close or to be good at avoiding projectile attacks if you're afar. And I think I'm not very good at avoiding projectile attacks if I'm afar, so I think I'm gonna have to learn to be a little better at being aggressive. Rather, yeah, not about being more aggressive, but being better at being aggressive. It's like play more better, right? Just get good, forehead. That's always the winning strategy, I guess. Just get good. Shit. Oh, that combo. Alright, let's use that. Shit. Oh. Come on. Shit, that wasn't enough. No! Oh no! Shit. Oh, he blocked! Oh, there we go. Jeez, that was tough. But managed to pull it off with a throw there. I like his sword a lot, though. I think a sword of that design would look pretty neat in Genshin. Huh. So I didn't know that Vlav had some sort of history with Roa like this. Like, he actually cares deeply about his reincarnation, it seems, and making sure to at least keep him from achieving his goals until the next time. Yeah, he's clearly aware of Roa reincarnating, which is something that not everyone is. Right, let's see what he can do to this little girl. I don't know if I've just gotten better at the game, or if Seiba and Love are just easier characters to use. But so far I haven't lost any fights after starting to use Seiba. Yeah, like, I haven't been dominating the fights for the most part, but I've managed to pull off wins. Shit, don't do that. Oh no! Whew, look at that damage! That one hit. No second strike, right? That was Li Shuwen level. Single hit damage. Took off like a 30% of my full HP bar. I'm not quite sure what to make of that statement. What does knight have to do with anything? Or knicht? Yeah, little known fact. In Old English, knight, as in that person who rides around in armor and knows how to use a sword, used to be pronounced knicht. Because, well, ever wonder why it was spelled that way? Because the way it was pronounced was supposed to be that. It just feels so weird to say it now, but I guess back then, in the past, it probably made more sense. You're knicked in shining armor. I wonder how and when it swapped over to knight. I imagine it might have happened pretty gradually. Oh shit, don't throw me. Ooh. Oh shit, this Hisui is damn good. Oh no. Okay, well, there's my loss. Right, what's she gonna say? Alright, well, let's try it again. Shit. No. God damn. Again, about a third of my HP in one combo. Because this is hard difficulty. Shit. Stop with the projectile attacks. Oh god. This is bad. Oh shit, she countered. No, that's gonna do it. And she finished it with an extra hit with a frying pan too, god damn it. And we all know how deadly Hisu can be when she uses a frying pan. Oh, it's cute. Alright, let's try again. So, looks like we found a blocker here. He's very quick, and that's something I'm having a lot of trouble with. When she gets aggressive, it's hard for me to find any sort of opening to counter with. And she has a tendency of bullying me into a wall too. So I'm not quite sure how best to handle that. Oh, come on. Nice, got a throw. Oh no, don't do that. Shit, he threw me. No, don't combo me. Oh no. Wow, that was a very impressive finish. God damn it. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. I've been watching this series on YouTube by this music critic who just makes he makes a lot of videos, but makes one series about one-hit wonders where he just covers the history of the band and how it became a hit and what they did after, as well as before, of course. And yeah, I didn't know that Kung Fu Fighting. I guess it's not surprising that it was a one-hit wonder. It was a super popular song. It still is. And holy shit, that was so dominating. God damn. But it was funny. The artist, the singer who sang that, some one-hit wonders, different one-hit wonders do different things, right? Some of them try to do the exact same thing again, and some of them try to do something very different. This guy was of the former, where he thought he could find success again, and the next song goes something like, well, if you do the kung fu, or something like that. But he wanted to make this dance called the kung fu that was its own thing, like the electric slide or something, and become popular that way, but that song never took off, and so it's one of the reasons why he's a one-hit wonder. That said, that Kung Fu Fighting is such a popular and famous song that he's doing just fine. Most one-hit wonder, like, artists seem to do just fine in terms of their careers because they never need to make money again. It's just how incredibly popular some of these songs are, despite the fact that the artists themselves are basically unknown. Means they're living off. They can easily just live comfortably off royalties. All right, so when Hisui gets me against the wall like this, she really keeps the pressure on, and she also has really deadly projectile weapons when she stays far away, which means I need to figure out a way to stay like around up close, I guess, while also not getting trapped in a wall, basically. He's really good at that. So let's see how aggressive I can get. Like, so yeah, she got a counter there, and that was pretty punishing. But yeah, she doesn't give you a chance to stand up, basically. She will attack you immediately before you get a chance to stand up. And so you need to come out swinging, basically. You need to be ready to counter something. Okay, let's see. Oh shit, don't do that. Okay. Ah, she blocked. Okay, come on. No, don't do that. Ah! God damn. Yeah, so see, she got me against the wall, and then, yeah, before I could get up, there's gotta be a way to counter that. There's gotta be a way to either protect against it or punish it, and I don't know the game well enough to figure that out, but let's see. Yeah, so at least I figured out certain aspects of her play that are really, hurting me a lot, and if I can manage those well enough, I might have a fighting chance. Well, of course I have a fighting chance, but I might actually be able to win it if I can manage those weaknesses well enough. Shit, don't do that. Yeah, don't do the projectile attack. Ah. Okay. Yeah, I have to come out swinging with a very fast attack so that she can't override it, maybe. Okay, yeah, that's what she's been doing to me a lot there, so let's keep doing that to her. There we go. Okay, so I basically used the exact same tactic she was using against me. Every time I knocked her down, I went up right next to her and did the quick attack over and over again to the ground. And she couldn't figure it out, ironically enough, given that she was using that against me. Right, who do we got next? 2 more fights. Oof, Hisui was quite the blocker, but I figured her out. Akiha? Wonder how hard she'll be. I feel like I've had some trouble against her before. Ah, I didn't mean to do that. Shit! I didn't mean to do that either. Akiha's voice is so nice. A good Ojo / Emota voice, definitely. Oh, come on. Go. About to throw. Ah, shit. Ah. I feel like each of the the characters, the AI kind of plays a little differently. I like that. Yeah, each character actually does play a little bit differently against you. It's not they don't all use the same tactics, and I don't know how well their tactics are kind of scaled for the specific characters, but it helps give them a bit of a different look each time whenever you fight a different character. 10 times. What does being married 10 times have to do with being a late bloomer? Is he saying that he started getting married so late that he couldn't find more than 10 wives? Maybe that's standard for a vampire? I think 1 is enough. Alright, Arquaid as expected. Let's see what the story quest has to say. Okay. Oh, he's starting to go crazy because he's a dead apostle. I'm guessing he's a dead apostle. But he seems to have issues as a vampire. Oh, true ancestors also have issues, right? If you go on too long, that's why Arquaid has it. Archangel. Archangelda. Love Archangel. Right, let's see if we can beat her. Oh shit. Okay, shit, I didn't have that timed very well. Ah, I had that timed very poorly. God damn, don't do that combo. Look at that. Over a third of my HP bar. Oh no, don't do that. Shit. Oh, Arquaid's animations are so cool. I love him so much. God damn. I love it when her jumping throw, where she lifts you up in the air and then slams you down. That's a typo. Anyway, let's try again. Alright. Ooh. It was a mutual hit, but I got less damage. Well, now I've got more damage. Oh, shit. So the range on his quick attack is very short, so I need to keep that in mind. The quick attack is something to only use at very specific cases, like that, when I need speed above all else, and I can get by with less range. Oh shit, that's gonna... Come on. Come on. Ah. There we go. Oof, barely pulled that one off. That was a pretty tough one. Alright, got through that ending. Nice. Okay, what's his ending gonna be like? Please don't let it be just... Well, we can't see his face, but I like the snow effects. Those are pretty neat. Oh, it's 200. That's less than I thought he would be, but then again, Arcoid's 800, right? Roughly? No. Maybe? I don't know. I might be confusing her with Shinobu from Bakemonogatari, but actually I think Shinobu is 598 years old now that I think about it. Not 800. Yeah, I think Arcoid's roughly 800. Oh, is he freezing to death? Is this his end? Right? That wasn't much of an ending. Got a nice voice though, I'll give him that. It's nice and gravelly. I could listen to it all day. Alright, so now I only have Koma and Roa to their stories to do, but I'll save that for another time because I'm actually getting a little tired, but I'm gonna switch over to FGO briefly. Not too briefly, we'll see. I'm gonna do some farming. But while I'm here, so I am still confused why these things aren't unlocked, because they do look very nice, and I did unlock them before. Nice. I'm gonna try backing out here and seeing if the fact that it writes save data there makes a difference for next time. Anyway, let me switch over to FGO. Alright, channel description's been changed. Let me just quit Melty Blood. And let's turn on the audio. And I'm actually gonna put on my own music. But before I do that...
Yeah, いらっしゃいだね、マスターくん。地道にコツコツやる？それとも盛大にリソースを使うのかな？
150 on alt account? Oh, yeah, I mean, I play both KR and NA, and at this point, to be honest, I'm not sure if I'd consider my KR the alt account or the NA the alt account, but I do enough farming on both. The thing is, in KR, stop talking, because of how many apples they give us, and the fact that I always play KR, or I used to always play KR on an emulator, meant that I could very easily just set up macros, which meant that spending apples without actually playing the game per se was not that difficult. So that's one reason I managed to get so much. So here's the goal. I want to be able to 10-10-10 her, or at least 9-9-9 her. I can use lures on her, but you can see I'm at max QP, so I want to spend some QP. Let's just go ahead and do that. I need more gunpowder. I need 6 more gunpowder, so that would be great if I can get 6 more. Clumsy Jean, indeed. She's, what is it, Lakshmi Bai. She is so cute, and she spooked me. She was kind enough to spook me. And she's got the best armpits of any Saber face, or at least she's got one. I guess, what is it? To be honest, Saber Lily has pretty good ones too, right? She's got the... I remember Saber Lily was one of the notorious early armpit CEs. Where is it? It was an old event. It's a very old event. There it is. This is the famous CE. Where? Yeah. And Lakshmi actually has very similar looking art on her actual card art. Anyway, yeah, now that I've used up some QP, the hope is that I can get 6 more of those gunpowders before I collect enough QP to max out. Okay, so 2 CE drops already. I sure wouldn't mind more of the eggs, but I guess 49 eggs is a pretty good place to be, all things considered. I think that's more than I would need for Space Ishtar, but I think I might still have some need for using some of the eggs on some other characters. Alright, actually, I feel like I've been using this team for the farming, and maybe I should try switching things up a bit, because yeah, the team I was using worked fine, but yeah, I was using a macro, so I needed it to be basically 100%, but since now I'm playing it directly, I don't need as much like reliability. I can get away with a bit more RNG. Let's try her. The nice thing about her is that she can charge her NP to full on her own. If I can provide another buster buffer or NP buffer. Yeah, someone who can buff NP might be very nice. Her, but that's all she can buff. That's the thing, she only provides an NP buff. Maybe Liz might be better, or actually, do I have, or I think I have Liz's first skill level 10. Yeah, so I think she's the best for me in this context. And what's this? Is this for a single? Yeah, I think that's more powerful because it's also an NP buff. Oh yeah, I need to switch. I almost fucked up there. I did once take the wrong CE and ended up really suffering because of it. We got MHXX as a what is it? Insurance in case shit goes south, but let's hope shit doesn't go south. Okay, so if I want to make this work, guessing that Kirke is not going to have enough buffs to do this in one shot, even if she's grailed. I feel like I'd probably need to use a plug suit. Use the plug suit to bring out a different servant to provide even more buffs. Let's see how she does here. It's not bad actually, but yeah, it's not enough, and he can't be turned into a pig. Yeah, not nearly enough. So Kirike's not gonna do it for me. So I'm doing this to maximize the damage that Kirike's Buster card does. Normally I'd use that Buster card first, but because the attack buff for the other cards just doesn't translate to that much damage, it's really not worth it. Oh shit, look at that damage. Basically never use her. Yeah, so Kirike is definitely not gonna do it for me. She doesn't have enough buffs for herself. I think that's one of the big keys for her. She doesn't provide any buffs for herself other than a defense down debuff on the enemy. And as a result, she's fully dependent on everyone else for her buffs. Which means... yeah, you're losing out on roughly a third of the buffs that you can possibly get. If that's the case, I don't need to make this work using Kirike. I'm not particularly tied to making it work using Kirike. So I'll just try switching the team somehow. But we should be able to get this on the next turn. As MHXX will have her MP. Actually, I'm kind of curious how much NP gain she'll get this. How much of a refund can we expect? Yeah, definitely need more damage bonus. Or, no, I can't get any more damage bonus from the event, if that's what you mean. I've already maxed out on the point ladder. But, yeah. I think if I use the plug suit, I could one-shot him with Kirike. But I didn't want to use the plug suit. That takes longer than the current setup that I'm using. Nice, 5 more. Because I'm just using double Merlin plus... what's her name? Shuten Doji. But she is... you know, I've used her so much that I felt like it'd be more fun to try using someone else. Let's see. Let's try this with Waver, and... I think an NP... oh, I should try it with my NP3... It's kind of fucked up. I have 2 single target NP3 5-stars. One her, and one him. Yeah, level 100 Musashi could do it, I think, but the issue is that it would take longer than the setup that I'm using now. Which is this. I can show you this setup. This is a 1-turn guaranteed every time. It's just double Merlin with Shuten Doji. It's very quick. But with using Musashi, I'd have to use the plug suit because Musashi doesn't have an NP charge of her own. So in order to get 100%, I'd either need to use double Merlin, or sorry, not double Merlin, double Waver, or Waver Merlin, or some combination of other. But if I use double Waver, I don't think that would be enough, to be honest, because neither of them provides a buster buff. So, oh yeah, I wanted to swap her out for him. Because he is... oh, he's only NP2. Shit, for some reason I thought he was NP3. Oh well, he's NP2. And let's make sure I use a Mystic Code that has a 10% NP charge. Yeah, there is plug suit, and the issue with the plug suit is it takes too long in terms of time. Because every time you swap it out, it just takes a little extra time. So I much prefer to use double Merlin and Shuten Doji caster if I'm just going for speed. But let's try it once with Musashi, see how that works. And instead of using double... ah, yeah, I'm gonna use Musashi, but I'm gonna use a different support. So let's try this out. There we go. He's maxed. And we happen to get a lucky roll of the dice here with the cards. So Buster Brave Chain by Ozzy. If that initial NP doesn't do it, I think there's a good chance of his next hits doing it. Didn't catch. Yeah, that didn't do it, but the rest of it's gonna do it. Yeah, so it does look like unless I'm able to do something with like double Merlin with Shutendoji, right? The nice thing about Shutendoji Caster is that she already has an attack buff and a buster buff on her own. And on top of that, you add on double Merlin plus something from your Mystic Code. She just does... That's what allows her to do around 3 million damage for me. But without something like double Merlin, let's try double Scotty. But yeah, I'm really, more than anything, I'm just kind of goofing around just to see what options can work. The nice thing about her is that she is MP3 for me. And I don't need any NP charge on the CE. I think this is probably, or Mystic Code. I think this is the best one because it provides an attack buff. Yeah, they provide quick buffs. They also reduce the enemy defense, which is effectively an attack buff. So I have attack, maybe instead of this is a very, oh no, this is an attack buff and an NP buff. Actually, this is sort of the best of both worlds. It's also got a high multiplier. So this one has a shot of doing it, I think. But let's find out. And after her, who could I try next? There's a number of decent single target servants that I could bring out. Let's try with Musashi at least once, using the support to charge her NP fully. Okay, got all the buffs. I think I should probably retire this particular track from my soundtrack at some point soon. I did enjoy Metroid Prime a lot, and the music is good, but I guess this particular tune does get repetitive. Alright, how much are you gonna do for me? That might have been enough. Yeah. I don't know if there was much card RNG involved, but that's actually, even if you remove 10% from it, I think that's going to be 2.5 mil. So that's pretty dependable. You just need an NP3. Ooh, egg. Nice. You just need an NP3 made altar. Easy. Also a Scotty. Alright, so that works pretty well. Now let's try using Musashi. And for Musashi, we'll have... Here's what I'm thinking. Merlin, Waver, and her, Narrow Bride. I think she could do pretty well here. And let's replace that CE with the 4-star one that has even less cost than a standard 4-star CE. This CE has abnormally low cost for the rarity, which is super nice. I don't know why just that. I believe it's unique. I can't think of any other CE in the game that has less cost than you would expect from its rarity like that. But this was a CE that was given out. You could choose early on in the game which CE you wanted, and I decided to choose Jean for my Korean account, not knowing at the time if I would ever get Jean. But I ended up getting 3 copies of her 4-star Valentine's ones. Oh, really? I didn't know that one at all. 4-star Valentine's ones. Those are the gifts that you get that you can use during the Valentine's event for extra drops? I guess that makes sense, because those are CEs... Wow, I got lucky with the RNG here again. Because the CEs are ones that you don't generally used. They're generally meant for CE EXP. In fact, in your present box, they show up as CE EXP instead of just regular CEs when you sort or filter. Right. Okay, so let's see if this NP2 Musashi can do it. She is level 100 and plus 2000. So let's see. Is that gonna be enough? I'm not sure. No, that wasn't enough. Yes. So double Scotty plus NP3 level 90 made alter actually performs better than Musashi here. And I'm not sure if I could have buffed her better. Everything that I used on her was at level 10. Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. My level 100 Musashi can't seem to pull it off. Are there better buffs I could have provided her? Along with the extra NP charge, right? I'm not sure. Like double waiver. If I had a waiver there instead of... Well, no, I don't know which one provides bigger buffs, actually. You think double waiver plus use Rein? Well, I don't have Rein. I could try her though. Her attack buff is stronger. So I could try something like this then. Let's give that a shot then. She's 10, 10, 10. Let's see. So the first skill provides 10% charge to everyone. And the second skill provides 20% charge to Musashi. Hey, could be doable. Let's try it. Let's try it. Thanks for the recommendation. I always forget about Rein because I don't have her. And I just forget that she's actually a pretty solid support in her own right.
Relax, relax. 君に全チップをかけよう。頼むぞ。連中だな。おかちゃん、こういうのはどうだ？つまり連中だな。他にやることないの？
And she can also NP here. Actually, what does her NP even do? Does it do damage? Oh, defense down. Critical rate up. Oh, critical rate down. Sorry, it says down, obviously. Class... What? Class Samsung 방어구. Okay, so it looks like the NP itself doesn't do any damage, but it does reduce the enemy defense, which is pretty nice. But let's not use that now, because I'm guessing I'm not always going to be able to rely on a Rein with a Maximum Broken Kaleidoscope. I guess if it was just a non-Maximum Broken one, it could still work, because she can get the extra 20% charge, or extra 10% charge actually, from Waver or Merlin. Wait, did I forget to include a buff? That seems less. Wait. No, that was more damage, right? Did I forget to include the Mystic Code buff? I'm gonna try that again. I feel like I might have missed something. That was more damage though, actually, I think, than previously. I think previously it was like 1.8 mil? Or no, that was less damage. I think previous it was 2.3 mil, not 1.8. So I think I forgot a buff. No, let's try again. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I missed the Mystic Code buff, and the Mystic Code provides a 30% buff, which is pretty significant. Now, because there's already a lot of attack buffs stacked, it's not a pure 30% buff on top of everything. So, we're not having a guarantee to do it, but... Oh no, I did the buff. Yeah, she has everything, and that wasn't enough. Oh well, let's do this, just in case, but I'm thinking with the Brave Chain, she's gonna be able to kill him, even though... Actually, no, she won't. She won't be able to do 500k because she needs the Buster card. That's kind of one of the annoying things about this event, that you're really reliant on one card. So 2.3 mil, pretty good, but even with the Brave Chain, just was not enough. So, although wait, does Rein's third skill do anything in terms of damage? Does it do like a defense down debuff or something? I should look that up. Maybe that's why. Maybe I should have tried to use her third skill. Rein's not there. Okay, I'm gonna try this with Narrow Bride only. Or not only, as her third skill doesn't do any defense or anything like that. Or defense down. Okay. So, yeah, I guess I tried my best, and sadly, as is often the case, my best wasn't good enough. So, let's do that. And... her. And you can probably guess what CE I want to put on her. What could I possibly want to put on Tamamo when using her as an arts support? And I don't need double waiver. I'd rather not use double of a servant if I don't have to. I hope I don't have to. So I can do a couple of things here. Go for arts, or I could go for attack buff. Let's start by trying him out. Yep, so this one's gonna need the plug suit, definitely. But with all the buffs, Narrow Bride, given that she's NP2, even though she's just level 90 with no gold foes, might be able to pull it off where Musashi couldn't, because of all the buffs. And the fact that she gets her own 30% NP charge buff helps quite a bit, because it frees up a buffer who doesn't have to charge up NP like Musashi. So I guess ultimately, I have to live with the fact that Musashi's not that great of a farming servant. But hey, you can't get everything from your waifu. Let's do that just in case. Alright, so how much damage is she gonna do with the arts card, please? So she's got buffs. Oh shit, I forgot. I messed up. Well, let's see how much damage she does here first, and then we'll, depending on the case, we'll try again. Yeah. All things considered, not awful, but there was one particular thing I forgot, which is the fact that Hamamo's first skill now also provides an NP damage buff. I forgot that it used to only ever reduce enemy charge. But now it also provides a pretty solid NP damage buff. Arts modifier? Wait, what do you mean? Is there something? Oh, well, you know that they put different multipliers onto the NPs to counter that, right? That's why the quick NPs actually have technically the highest multipliers in the game. The Buster and the Arts multipliers are the exact same, actually, the NPs. At least the standard. That's why the Buster, like AoE, all have 300 or 400% scaling, whereas the Arts ones have 50% extra. No, it does. Arts and Buster make up for it exactly. I looked it up once. The Quick is the one that has a slight advantage. But the Arts is, at least by default, comes with 50% extra multiplier relative to the Buster. So like a Buster might be 300. On Arts, AoE NP would be 450. Now, it changes though. Actually, the one time it does change is when you have... Actually, yeah, I mean, I guess it makes it kind of works, but it is minor. But yeah, at higher NP levels or with upgraded NPs, I guess that's when the Buster does actually outperform. So in the case of... It's not bad. In the case of Narrow Bride, the fact that she's NP2 probably does make it that, so that an equivalent NP2 Buster Servant's NP is gonna do more. Yeah, I guess that's right. But like I said, by default, the non-upgraded NPs all have, or the Arts and the Busters have the exact same final modifiers. Or final multipliers, I should say. The modifier is based on the card. And for whatever reason, they gave Quick a higher multiplier. I think it's kind of because the Quick has... What, 0.9... No, it's 0.8, right? Yeah. Quick has 0.8x scaling, Buster has 1.5, and Arts has 1. So Quick has basically double the multiplier as Buster, which results in 1.6x scaling. Or 1.6x multiplier, yeah, rather than 1.5 at the end. So that's why Quicks have the best, or the highest multipliers anyway, in terms of NPs. Okay, 50, 20, 30. So instead of him, now let's try using her. Yeah. Use the Arts. My guess is this is gonna do worse, not better, but let's see. I'm guessing that because I feel like I'm overloaded on Arts buffs versus attack buffs, but I'm pretty heavily loaded on both. And the multiplier on Helena's Arts buff is not as high as the multiplier on what's his name? Ozzy's charisma. Because Ozzy's charisma provides a 20% buff, whereas Helena's... Oh shit, I didn't mean to use that one. Helena's Arts buff is 20% at level 10, but I don't have her at level 10 for that. I have her at level 9, because I didn't feel like spending a lore on her. Not yet, anyway. Alright, let's see if she does at all better. Also, I've been kind of getting bad luck with the gunpowder drops in these last few runs. Yeah, that was pretty similar. That was, yeah, like, it was very similar. I'm not sure if it did worse or better. Oof. Let's stun him this turn. I needed an arts card from Nero, but at least I can use Helena's arts card for some damage here. Nice. Well, Helena's gonna have at least, yeah. Nice. Also, so far, of all the kind of different setups I've tried, Maid Altar with double Scotty is the only one that's managed to pull it off. Along with, of course, the Caster Shuten setup that I've been using. Yeah. Oh, I thought I was at full, but I'm close enough to full that I feel like I should do a bit more work here. As much as I'm hesitant to spend Void Dust, maybe it's not a bad idea to spend some... She uses... not even sure where to get these arrowheads. I haven't really ever farmed them. I need to spend? Yeah, I definitely need to spend. It's just hard to convince myself to spend these really difficult to get materials, even if they're... I'm so sick of farming shells. Let's just go ahead and use this. Nice thing about 5 stars, it does cost quite a bit of QP, even at low skill levels. So I'm gonna have no trouble hitting 999 probably again, but because I do want to keep going tonight until I at least hit 45 of these gunpowders, and I'm at 43 right now. And knowing how fickle RNG can be, we don't know how long that's gonna take. It could be 1 run, it could be 20. Yeah, that's one thing I really prefer about Genshin. The RNG factor in farming for materials and such is just much more manageable. Much more dependable. So the enemy's not male, which means Tamamo Lancer is not a great choice. I already attempted it once with Double Scotty and her, and she couldn't pull it off. I guess if I used her with so I didn't use the plug suit for her. Maybe if I did, she could. Single target characters. Guessing Jack probably can't pull it off, really. Let's try giving him a shot. I don't bring him out often, but I know he can be just an absolute goddamn monster if you use him properly. And I want to bring a support Merlin, because I think what might be nice is to bring Waver with his Bond CE here for that extra Buster buff. Nice thing about Kintoki Berserker, his attack buff, his monstrous strength is very strong. I think it's like a 50% attack buff. So when you're using him, you want to support him with a lot of Buster buffs usually, because he's already got a very solid attack buff. Alright, I'm gonna try a couple of things actually. One is this, without using the plug suit, because we don't need to. And let's use this. But I don't know if that's gonna get me enough to actually one-shot him. If not one-shot, it shouldn't take too many turns. Partly depending on card RNG, but Kintoki has plenty of Buster cards. So Shouldn't be too bad. It's funny how quickly I've gotten used to the extra speed. You know, remember how long some of these the lag would be for some of these animations? It's so much quicker now. And at first it just felt a little awkward because of how much faster it was. Now it just feels natural. I'm loving it. Try that. Shit. I was hoping that Kintoki would get at least some crit stars on his Buster card, because I wanted to take advantage of the Hero Creations crit buff. But... Okay, nowhere near enough. Without... that was nowhere near enough. Without a plug suit, I don't think that's at all viable. And even with a plug suit, I'm kinda skeptical this might not work out so well. Alright, we should have one more of Kintoki's Buster cards next turn. We do. Unfortunately, the cards aren't great in general. If I can get a Brave Chain with Kintoki sometime soon, I think that should take care of it, but... We're... Do that. Well, we'll get either a Brave Chain, or... We'll at least get 2 of Kintoki's cards on the next 2 hands. We'll see. There we go. Alright, that'll do it. So yeah, I think even with the plug suit, my NP1 Kintoki doesn't have what it takes to do it. Oh shit, he doesn't have what it takes to do it with the Brave Chain? What? I guess all the buffs ran out at that point. Ah, that was the issue. Even with the event buff, Kintoki didn't have enough, to do it. God damn it. Alright, maybe she'll be able to, or Kintoki will be able to do with this Brave Chain. With the buffs. Ooh, no. Oh, he did, just barely. I should have placed the Buster card at the end, because buffing the Buster card is by far the most important. Buffing the other cards really didn't matter. Alright, still no bullets or gunpowder. Just need 2 more, please, game. I just need 2 more drops. Let's see. Let's just try it with the plug suit. And if we're providing him with another buff, I think going in on extra Buster would be nice. Could also bring her along for the 40% attack buff on top, but I think I don't want to overload on attack buffs. I think it's better to go in with another Buster buff. In which case, she might just do the ticket. Actually, does she have 3 arts cards? I don't remember her deck. No, 2 arts, 2 Buster. I'll go with Buster because, well, that's the hardest hitting card. Plug suit. So unfortunately, my Nightingale doesn't have her Buster buff at level 10. I don't think it's worth it because she is so rarely used. And if I want a 50% Buster buff, you know who I'm gonna use. Nightingale is just such a troublesome character to use because of how fragile she is. Just as a support lacks some of the features that you're really looking for. Here, I'm gonna use Merlin's invul just in case. I guess I could have also used the stun, but either way. Alright, let's see how much damage Kintoki can do here with the extra buffing. So a little more, not much more at all. So yeah, Kintoki is really not viable. Not my Kintoki at level 90 NP1. Also, I forgot, yeah, Kintoki can stun, huh? Pretty nice. Yeah, I keep forgetting about the fact that Kintoki's NP does have that stun attached to it. Because I also use him very rarely, but when it procs, it sure is nice. Okay. This time, let's actually go for damage. That Buster being at the end is by far the most important portion of this. Alright, let's do it again. Because he lost all the buffs at this point, I don't think he's gonna be strong enough to do it. I think maybe even with the buffs. Ooh, yeah. Let me also try it with at least one other servant, which is MHXX. My MHXX happens to be NP4. Nightingale, I don't think she'll be able to finish it off this turn, but yeah, one more turn. If she can survive, she'll be able to finish it off. Nope. Well, let's see. Don't have anyone with buffs. Let's just do that. I think I can win this just through attrition at this point, but it's gonna be risky. Like, his NP is AoE, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't have event buff CE, so let's see what he can even do here. Wow. Considering he didn't have an event buff, that actually wasn't bad. Alright, I think I need that, instead of the Buster Brave Chain, I think I need that, one hit. Ooh! Rainbow! Shit! Alright, well, I guess, the game decided to reward my annoying work, and 2 bullets! Yes, 2 gunfighters, sweet! Okay, that was a very good run. That was a really good set of drops. Nice, nice. So, that accomplishes what I really wanted in terms of getting enough gunpowder. And yeah, I'm not in dying need of more gunpowder, but let's try at least some more runs. Because I did want to try taking my NP for MHXX. At level 80, you might struggle. But I think she has a shot. We'll see. Let's use her Bond CE. We need 20% NP charge somewhere. You know who's a 20% NP charger I keep forgetting about? Her. Keep forgetting about her. Maybe I should place at least one somewhat strong servant in the back. Just put her there. Arts quick. I don't care, I don't care. Arts is fine, I guess. I have her 20% NP charge skill at level 10, right? Yeah, I do. Yeah, so I don't know if MHXX is going to be strong enough, but she's a pretty damn strong version of her. Somehow got her NP4, I guess mainly because goddamn Summer BB was very elusive until the end, and ended up pulling many copies of the 4 stars in her banner. Alright, so we got all the buffs that we need. We're getting all the NP charge that we need, get up to level 100, or 100%. And let's do that. I don't care that much about the arts chain at all, I just want to make sure to buff MHXX's final arts card as much as possible. That looked pretty good. That was pretty good. Not enough, but pretty damn good. If I had her at level 90, that might have been able to do it. Nice, another gunpowder. I could also use more Aurora Steel, that's for sure. Alright, and now I'm gonna try one more time. Yeah, I think I'll try one more time with Summer Maeve. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, Summer Maeve doesn't have her own NP charge skill. It's over multiple turns. But she's also NP4 for me. Let's see. Yeah, I want to try Summer Maeve in part because I don't have her. Or actually, no, I do have her, but I only have her NP1 or NP2 in my NA account. But I think that's it in terms of the characters I really want to try this challenge with, trying to one-turn it. Not sure who else is really viable that I could really try. I guess Summer Hokusai could be good. But let's start with her. And we're just gonna go hard with Double Merlin. Yeah. And let's give him the arts just so that he can do some damage if needed. Yeah, let's try going hard with Double Merlin and Tamama with her Bond CE. See See if that's enough. And Maeve also has a skill to reduce the enemy's art's resistance. So that'll provide a little extra buff as well. How about this? After this, assuming this works and I don't have any other weird ideas to try out, I'll do one final run using my Caster Shuten Doji. A very, very simple double Merlin setup that so far has been literally 100% successful for me once I hit the damage, all the enough damage buffs. So that's been pretty dependable for me. Which is good, because I like to use a macro for the farm while I'm not actually paying attention to the game. But since I thought it'd be fun to stream, that's why I'm doing it here right now, while actually paying attention to the game instead of something else. Okay, it's hard to get a sense of that, but how is it? Yeah, 1.8 mil, that's definitely not enough. Well, obviously it's not, but I don't think Maeve has what it takes. Even with other buffs. She'll get her MP up next turn though. So I guess she could be a good option for somebody who simply cannot one-turn it. Because she seems pretty reliable for 3-turn. Because of how quickly she can recharge her NP. Also, I love her NP. God damn. I remember when I first saw her NP when she was released in JP, and I saw that and I was like, I don't really like Maeve, but when she comes in her summer version, I'm definitely pulling for her. And lucky for me, she happened to be in the summer BB banner as well. Ooh, egg. Sweet, and one more of those. Yeah. I'm at 3 million now. I think I might have hit 4 million in my NA account. I don't remember. But I think, given my need for gunpowder, which is high but not limitless, obviously, I don't need to particularly spend more apples farming the raid. But one thing I wanted to actually see is this. So this is a Google Doc that shows which materials are going to be available in the upcoming events. So this is the gunpowder. Seiba Wars. I almost said Seiba Wars. Seiba Wars. No hard R there, right? But anyway, we're getting 38 more gunpowders in Saber Wars. And 5 more. So I guess I'm not in dying need. And I do have plenty of the other stuff. How am I doing in terms of Aurora Steel? Yeah, we're gonna get 20 more in Seiba Wars. So yeah, definitely not needing to spend apples. So I think this is a good amount of apples to hold on to for now. I'll spend the remaining bronze apples. Or I won't spend them, but I'll spend them to just fill up for one last run, which is this. A very simple one-turn setup that is 100% reliable because of just how damn powerful Merlin is, as well as Shuten Doji. And the fact that Shuten Doji uniquely gets a 50% NP starting when doing this event, or doing quests in this event, means, yeah, she just stands out as an excellent option. Yeah, it's super nice, right? Especially considering just how big this one-turn farming is in this event. The fact that they give us a 50% NP charge without having to press a button and use or have to watch an animation or whatever, right? It is super nice. I kind of wish they did more of that in other events. Especially major farming events like this one can be. Yeah, all you need is your own Merlin. Easy, right? Which, to be fair, I'm guessing most longtime players at this point have picked up a Merlin as well as a waiver. But, or at least most longtime serious players. Yeah. I'm sure there are lots of free-to-play players who just have always skipped his banner. But yeah, I guess I'll call it a stream for now. That was pretty nice, I guess, getting through a few more story quests in Melty Blood and getting this raid done more. Let me see how much I can buy here. But this coming weekend, I'll do the challenge quest again in my Korean account. And I'll do some Genshin. I don't know if we have... Yeah, I don't think we have any more events or shit like that coming up, though. I might as well buy this. And let's celebrate getting those drops by just using up our gunpowder. You know what really hurts? I wanted to use my gunpowder for her, but given my lack of shells, I figured I'd rather use the gunpowder now. There's always some of it. I mean, that's true, but the current event's gonna end pretty soon, right? I'm just thinking this weekend is right before the new update. Which means... like, I don't know if we're gonna get just a kind of a lag time, like a downtime before the new update comes, instead of there being you know, some event that fills it. I kind of wish we got a leyline overflow or something. That would be nice. But yeah, anyway, we'll figure it out. There's enough games to play. I got Melty Blood, I got Ninja Gaiden, but I still really, at the end of the day, enjoy Genshin quite a bit. And there's plenty of artifact farming and shit to be done. Yeah, I think Leyline Overflow is next update, isn't it? I think they announced it for next update, not this update. But I don't remember. Maybe it's this update, in which case that's great. I hope so. But yeah, I'll talk to you next time. Bye.